Hey guys, it's X, and welcome to another video. This one is going to be something... This one's going to be something a little bit different. This one is Starcraft II, Wings of Liberty, and I'm going to be playing through the campaign, through the actual storyline of Starcraft II. I realize I've introduced Starcraft to a lot of you out there. Maybe you already knew about it before you came to my channel, but I did play some of it, and some of you have seen it on my stream. And a lot of people have actually gotten into Starcraft because of some of the videos that I've put out. But I also realize that a lot of you don't know what the storyline behind Starcraft is. A lot of you know that it's a very competitive game. A lot of you know that it's at the heart of esports, and it's played for money and all this kinds of stuff. And there are all these different kinds of tournaments and all these different colorful names as far as the players and casters are concerned. You know that there's this big community surrounding it, but not a lot of people focus on the storyline of Starcraft II, and that's okay. I mean, it's not supposed to be. Starcraft II is supposed to be a competitive game. It's supposed to be an esport, but it does have a very involving and awesome story. It is in and of itself a very good game. As far as a single-player campaign is concerned, it doesn't have to be played competitively. It can be played just like a normal strategy game, with a story and single-player and different difficulties and heroes and characters and all kinds of stuff. There is an actual story to it, and I realize that a lot of you actually haven't seen that. And Heart of the Swarm, which is the second of 3 parts of Starcraft II. See, there's going to be 3 parts: Wings of Liberty, which is this game; Heart of the Swarm, which is going to focus on the Zerg campaign, which is the second part; and then the Protoss campaign. I'm sorry I can't recall the name right off the bat, if they've even released a name. But there's going to be these 3 parts, and Heart of the Swarm is coming out fairly soon, I think. This is just what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if anybody else thinks that. I haven't heard of any release dates or lack thereof from Blizzard. I just know that Blizzard tends to release games when they're ready. But Wings of Liberty has been out for about a year and a half, and Blizzard has been wanting to release these 3 different parts: Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and the third part on a year-by-year basis. So I'm assuming, especially since some of the things I saw on GSL about Heart of the Swarm, that Heart of the Swarm is not too far over the horizon. And because of that, and because a lot of you have not seen the storyline to Starcraft II, Wings of Liberty, I'm actually going to play through it. Start a whole new campaign. And I'm going to select hard. I'm not going to play brutal. A lot of people would want me to play brutal, but I am only a platinum player on Battle.net, and I've tried brutal before, and there's one mission that just I cannot beat as far as the brutal campaign is concerned. So I'm going to start off with hard, and we're going to go through that. Hopefully I'll be able to get through the entire game on the hard difficulty. We'll see how that turns out. So anyway, sit back, relax. I hope you guys enjoy the story, because it does have a very good story. There is some of it that you would have to understand from Brood War, which is the game that came before StarCraft. The game came before Starcraft II. See, because there was Starcraft, and then its expansion, Brood War. So whenever you hear the term Brood War, people are referring to the original Starcraft game. So anyway, I'm going to play on hard, and some of it you have to know from Brood War, but I'll help you catch up wherever I can. Anyway, here goes.
Held a press conference commemorating the end of the so-called Brood War some 4 years ago. Our own Kate Lockwell was on the scene.
Emperor, the threat of a new Zerg invasion is still very real. But instead of expanding our fleets, you've squandered trillions on hunting down has-been rebels like Jim Raynor.
Jim Raynor represents a clear and present threat to this dominion. He is an unscrupulous, lawless revolutionary bent on spreading fear and dissension across the sector. He and his ragtag band of miscreants have instigated open rebellion across 6 separate worlds and stolen vast amounts of Dominion weapons and armor. This criminal will be brought to justice very soon.
It ain't over till it's over, you son of a bitch. Adjutant, are my troops ready yet?
Your forces are prepared and awaiting your orders, Commander. Uploading tactical data now.
Good. About time we kick this revolution into overdrive.
Backwater Station is the center of Dominion logistics on Marsara. Destroying Dominion authority here will cripple Emperor Mengsk's operations throughout the planet.
Okay, so you've heard the name Mengsk and you've heard the name Raynor. I'm going to assume... I'm going to talk to you as if you've never heard of these names before. I'm sorry if any of you do know this story already, but I'm going to explain it as briefly as I can and try and get the point across as best as I can. Throughout Brood War, well, in the original StarCraft game, you as Jim... Well, you actually were you. You were actually not... you were actually your own character in the game. Although Jim Raynor was the protagonist. Jim Raynor is the guy you saw sitting there drinking, and the guy who shot the TV. And the guy you saw on TV, the one talking, Emperor Mengsk. Mengsk was the antagonist throughout the entire... he'll be the antagonist throughout this game, and he was the antagonist throughout all of Brood War. Sorry, all of StarCraft. The original StarCraft. And Mengsk actually fooled you and everybody alongside you into helping him overthrow the current leadership so that he could become the new emperor. And he is actually a very evil guy, but he tricked you and everybody else into thinking he was leading the People's Rebellion. Okay, in doing so, he actually left behind his second in command. His right hand was a Terran ghost named Sarah Kerrigan. The ghosts are the units that you see that can cloak and they can snipe in this game, and they have EMP in this game, and they also the ones that launch nuclear missiles. They're fairly expensive units. They're very tactical and surgical units. She was one of the best ghosts there was, and Jim Raynor actually had a thing for her. He actually fell in love with her. She was the now Emperor Mengsk's right hand, and during a crucial mission where she was being overrun by the Zerg, she was expecting some support from Arcturus Mengsk, and Mengsk actually left her behind, and she was presumed killed by the Zerg, although she was not actually killed by the Zerg. She was captured by the Zerg to become the new Queen of Blades, and she actually leads the Zerg throughout Brood War. Well, throughout the original StarCraft, and at some point... Well, actually, I won't get into that just right now because that's a little too much to tell you at this point. But anyway, it's key to know that Mengsk left her behind, left her to die, and that just didn't sit with Raynor. And in doing so, he kind of reveals his true intentions. By this point, it's too late, and you're having to fight Arcturus Mengsk to win back the planet and win back everything from his tyrannical grasp. Raynor feels very bad for having helped Mengsk actually get into this point, and now he's leading, as Mengsk himself put it, a ragtag band of miscreants, which is basically you're a rebellion leading up against him. And the cutscene you just saw were the moments just before Jim Raynor finally decides to take some serious and real action. He's been preparing up to this point to actually launch this crusade, and so here we have us launching this mission. I hope that was enough to explain it, and I hope that didn't bore too many of you. But anyway, let's get going.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station. This has become the hub for all operations on Marsara. The Dominion recently pulled troops out of the city, and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet. Prep my ship.
So Jim Raynor's the type to not be afraid to lead a fight on his own, as we will see shortly. Liberation Day.
All right, boys. Let's show the locals they don't need to fear the Dominion.
Our objectives are to destroy the logistics...
Keep your intervals wide, your eyes open, and your asses covered. Let's move.
To destroy the logistics headquarters, and Raynor must survive. Here's Raynor.
Sell me.
And there's the headquarters. If you look down in the lower left, this is the mini-map. You'll want to look down here throughout most of your StarCraft games, even in the campaign. And you'll see we begin all the way down here.
What's up?
I'm going to set these guys as control group 1.
Time to man up. Sounds like a plan.
Let's get rolling.
Raiders roll.
The doggy.
You can count on me. Raiders roll. Sounds like a plan.
Don't go up that road.
So this lady doesn't want us to go up that road. She's trying to give us a warning. And apparently so are the doggies. That's adorable. You know what? I just realized that I probably don't have my music turned on because I leave it off for my gaming. I mean, for my stream, so I can play my own background music. That's fine.
Time to man up.
This is better.
You can count on me. Sounds like a plan.
Alright, now, we want to make sure and micro our units correctly. I'm going to put Raynor up front because he's kind of a beefy unit. He can kind of take the punishment. And what I want to do is I want to set my units kind of spread out here because we're going to want to get a concave on these guys. We want to get as many of these Marines firing on these targets as possible. So if we all move up in this formation, we're going to be open fire on them a lot sooner.
Raiders roll.
Raynor, kill him! Armed and
Break it down.
Alright, you see what I did there? I pulled this Marine back so that he wouldn't die. Now he's actually further back. Just because he has low health doesn't mean he's doing less damage. So as long as I can keep, the longer I can keep him alive, the better.
Time to man up.
Keep a close watch on your neighbors. Descent will only slow our progress.
Commander, destroying the Dominion holoboards will help incite rebellion against the Dominion.
What's up? Kick ass. I'm getting mighty tired of seeing Meng's face. Blast it. You can count on me.
I'm gonna head out this way just to explore the map.
Man up.
I haven't played
Raiders roll.
Starcraft II in over a year.
Time to man
Not
up.
the campaign anyway.
Sounds like a plan.
this better be good.
Talk to me. You can count on. Where is everyone?
By the numbers.
Sell me.
There's some more Marines out there. But you see how we're forced to choke here? Like there's a car right here, so there's 2 choke points before we can actually reach these guys. It doesn't allow me to get that wide lineup that we got before. So we're gonna set some of these guys to come in from here.
On you.
And Raynor will actually lead these 3 since they're hurt.
By the,
What's the plan?
I realize Raynor must survive, but
by the numbers, boy.
Break it down. Talk
alright. And Raynor has a longer range than the rest of them, so I set him out up front.
This better be good.
See if I can get this guy right next to him. Oh, looks like that's as good as it's gonna get. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this group and have them focus this guy,
Charge.
and this group will focus that guy.
Sell me.
So we lost so few units there.
Raiders roll. Sounds like a plan.
This first mission likes to teach you those kinds of...
neighbors. My family.
This is starting to look ugly.
Yeah, it is.
Break it down. What's the plan? Raid.
Commander, a large Dominion force is gathering in the center of town.
Then it's time to call in that special delivery we talked about. Raiders roll. What's up?
Thanks for the assist. We're with you, Raynor.
Hey,
That's Raynor, most wanted man in the Dominion.
I don't know if I lost anybody here.
Stand proud. We must all sacrifice for the glory of the Dominion.
sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
This better
Break it down. Raiders roll.
Your freedoms must be protected.
This is bad. It's like a plan.
I love Raynor's voice.
Raiders roll. Finally. There's the locals.
You'll all be given a meal when you reach the dig site.
My brother went off to the mine last week. He disappeared.
We got a runner.
They're shooting civilians. Move in.
We can't have that.
You can count on me.
Evil Dominion.
What's the plan?
By the numbers, boys.
I'll get some of these weaker Marines back.
Waiting on you. You gonna give me one.
What's up?
Come on, man. Why are you running back there?
You gonna been waiting on you.
Talk to me.
Armed and
Sell me.
There we go.
we could use some help here.
What's up?
Been waiting on you.
Talk to me.
We're gonna pop this statue first, and then the Dominion vehicles.
Minsk has a lot to pay for.
Thank you, Raynor. We knew you wouldn't forget us.
There's more people still being held up ahead.
I'll see to them. Raiders roll.
This better be good. Who wants
So good, I'm
some?
doing pretty good here. Most of my Marines are very injured, but at least they're not dead.
What's the plan?
This better
Sell me.
Marshal Raynor. Been a while since we saw you around here.
We're with you, Raiders! Time to man up. Sounds like a plan.
Alright, now these guys just kind of charge in on their own.
This is a restricted area. You insurgents are under arrest. We got your back, Rainer.
Count on me.
And I'm destroying these statues and stuff for the fun of it. Vikings! Alright, my Marines and most of the people survived.
I didn't think we could fight them, but we can.
Now you've got the weapons and the resources to do it. Remember, Mengsk can only control you if you let him.
Alright, so we completed all the objectives, even the optional objectives of this mission. Took us 6 minutes and 47 seconds. So now we have reclaimed this particular area and destroyed Mengsk's headquarters on this planet. And there is Sarah Kerrigan, the ghost I was talking about that Rainer was so in love with.
You know, for the most wanted man in the sector, you ain't that hard to find. I had to see it for myself. Little Jimmy Raynor, the people's hero.
Tychus Finley. Nice suit.
Pays to be prepared.
I heard they put you on ice. Life sentence. What? To give you time off for good behavior?
That's right, old buddy. I'm a model citizen now.
So to what do I owe the pleasure?
Just a friendly business proposition. Do you even know what the Dominion are doing out here?
I'm guessing you're about to tell me.
Digging up alien artifacts, old buddy. Your boy Mengsk has gone crazy for them. But I got a contact that'll pay top dollar for every artifact we liberate from the Dominion.
I guess I can hardly pass that up now. Can I, Tychus?
Partners then. 60-40.
70-30. My way. Feels like old times already.
Old times.
Now, Tychus Finley here is not somebody you heard about in StarCraft or StarCraft Brood War. He's a new character, so if it's a little confusing on what he is and what he's doing here, it's because it was when you first went through this game too. During this particular part of the game, you can, like in these little transition areas, there's a lot of little different things that you can actually take a look at, such as this TV. Well, let's go look at the little Kerrigan photo first.
Sarah. Sometimes I think it would have been better if you just died that day.
Like I said, she didn't actually die when Mengsk left her behind. Mengsk didn't know she was going to survive, but she did survive. The Zerg actually took her captive, and the Overmind, who was the leader of the Zerg swarm at the time, sealed her up in a chrysalis, in a cocoon. And when she finally hatched, she became then the Overmind's right hand, and she was the Queen of Blades. Now she is at the she's actually at the helm of the Zerg at this particular point. So now she's another antagonist in the story. You've got Minsk and you've got Kerrigan. And now Raynor regrets everything. He regrets leaving her behind. Leaving her behind to die was a very terrible feeling for him. But now seeing what she's actually become, it feels even worse. And now he almost kind of wishes she had died instead of become what she's become. Picture of a Viking, a Terran Viking.
This looks recent. This your doing, Jimmy?
Folks in these parts are ready to fight back against Minsk. Guess they just needed a little push.
You still take this whole revolution thing pretty serious, then?
Everyone needs a hobby, Tychus.
You change the music. That's a cool song. But they've also got a Zerg, a shotgun, and you. I like that song, but I'm not gonna listen to it. Raw power. Excuse me for scribbling. Sweet Home Alabama. There we go. Yeah, they actually have Sweet Home Alabama on this. Let's check out what the news has to say.
This is Donnie Vermillion, live from the UNN studios on Core Hall. We've got a breaking story for you. Let's go live to our own Kate Lockwell on the fringe world of Marsara. Kate?
Thanks, Donnie. Rebel Jim Raynor has reappeared in a big way. He's attacked a Dominion depot near Backwater Station, seizing weapons and distributing them to the local populace.
Kate, I bet the locals are pretty nervous about having a notorious outlaw in their neighborhood.
Actually, Donnie, the people I talked to seemed really encouraged by
Kate. You heard it here first. Jim Raynor, terrorizing the locals on Marsara. When we return, are your kids using stim packs?
Keep talking, pal. I'm just getting started.
Ah, propaganda.
Call me curious, but how'd you get out?
Well, I busted out of my cryo freezer while they were transporting me to New Folsom. Oh, I must have killed at least a dozen guards with my bare hands.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. But you left out the part where you walked on water, made off with the warden's daughter.
Don't you get uppity with me, boy. I heard all about you becoming a big-time freedom fighter while I was away. What happened, Jimmy? The war for truth and justice get too much for you.
I ain't licked yet, Tychus. And I promise you, Minsk is going down, one way or another.
Now, I don't know if this has been explained prior to this part of the game. I don't know, because I know there's one cinematic that I didn't show you guys. It was actually in the preview for Starcraft II: Wings of Liberty, and I don't know if you can actually see it in this game, and I'm sorry if I seem to have skipped it, but apparently, the story between these two, I can give you just a little bit of background without actually spoiling anything. Apparently, because, you know, Raynor has always kind of been seen as an outlaw, he's a bad boy, he's had his wild side, and one of his best friends was Tychus here during his, during one particular incident where Raynor was supposed to be arrested and put on ice. Basically, put on ice means to be put into cryostasis, and Tychus here actually took the whole rap for Raynor. Now, if anybody here knows the full story behind that without spoiling, feel free to post it in the comments. Again, do not spoil anything, but I don't know if I'm telling that 100% correctly. I do know that Tychus, though, did take the rap for Raynor at some point, and Raynor feels like he kind of owes Tychus something at this point. And Tychus, while he may seem like a bad guy, is generally a pretty good friend in Raynor's eyes. Now, if I click on here, I can begin the next mission, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm actually going to end this video here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this part. Hopefully I won't have to explain so much of the story as we move forward. And hopefully you guys have enough of a background here to enjoy the rest of this video series. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm going to get going so I can render this video, and I will see you guys next time.